Welcome. First one of the year. You've probably seen a few of these happening from different people. And I'm excited for this year because we're going to be going over a lot of different stuff. Taking a couple of weeks off, and I had some sickness and holidays, and we had no power for almost a week. But it gave me some time to really reflect and hone in on the message that I want to give to people about AI and how it works, and what we can do, kind of as a team, to understand what's going on with AI. And things have kind of settled down a little bit. The beginning of 2023, obviously we had just gotten ChatGPT going, and there was an awful lot going on there. And since then, by the way, I appreciate you taking the time to hang with me here, because what you know we're all extremely busy trying to figure out this whole AI thing, and there's a lot of people that are pushing AI on us and telling us that we're falling behind. And that's really what this is about. I want to start this year off with this message to you, because I know there's a lot of us that are still trying to figure it out, still trying to figure out exactly what AI means for us personally, what it means for our businesses. And there can be that feeling, and if you're watching this, then you've probably had that feeling or have it, that it's a little bit awkward because you're spending time, you're studying, you're understanding what AI does, and yet you kind of feel stupid about it. You've got people that are talking, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And you're like, no, I haven't. And I'm saying this from experience as well. So I'm Greg Howe, the founder of Gimme Info. And what I'm trying to do for people is help people plan about AI and understand AI, and also build AI solutions for people. One of the things that I want you to understand about where I'm coming from is that back in the 1980s, probably some of you were just a glint in your papa's eye, was there was this whole concept about AI, and it had been around before that, of course, but I was really looking at it going, yeah, this is where things are going to head, is that there's going to be this robotic, systemized thing. And I was studying computer science and began to understand what AI was about, but I felt like there's this huge gap between what might be useful and what the technology had. It needed a lot of computing power and lots of wires connecting things, and uh, really it was just the dream phase, in my opinion. And so I stopped watching it. Like, I kept an eye on it, but I didn't watch it thoroughly. And then ChatGPT came out, and I jumped out of my chair, and I literally jumped up and said to my wife, "Hey, this is it. This is what I've been working towards on the computing side of things under the covers for the last few decades, and it's now coming to fruition." My whole thing has been about data. So it's been about, how do you connect data into things? And we were really looking for, I've been building something for over a decade that really tries to make data simple. And there wasn't a great mechanism for using it until now. I'm like, this brings AI into people's living rooms and people's businesses, and regular average people, not just the very techie, geeky side people, are understanding it. They're looking at it. They're using it. And as we all know, data underlies everything that we do, because you're putting in a prompt, that's data, you're receiving data back. So anyway, I've been watching this and going, wow, okay, time to dive back in and see how things have really changed since the days of wires and dreaming. And again, I have been watching but not really digging in. So I started to dig in. Boy, did I feel overwhelmed. A guy like me, I code in my sleep. Literally, I can write code because it's just what I've done for decades. I was overwhelmed. There was so much that I didn't know. And so I started diving in. I started following people doing just what you do. You'd find somebody that you go, oh, that's really cool. You follow them, you follow the people that follow them, you find their peers, you study, hey, Erica, I'm so glad you're here. Yes, non-techie, exactly. This is what's happening, is that there's this whole very technical side of things that then has to mesh with the non-technical side people that are going, I want to use AI. And what happens is the gap is just so large. So you have the techie people going, this is what you need. If you don't have this, you're falling behind. And then you have gurus that are coming out and saying, hey, um, and by the way, there are a few of these people that I'm friends with that I have a lot of respect for. But they're very strong in their approach about you're falling behind. And for me, that's not really the truth. So I was putting this talk together to help people understand the reality behind what's actually happening in AI and who really knows stuff and how far you are from the norm. When this person that I follow, Heather Murray, if you don't follow her on LinkedIn, you need to. She's fantastic. She's an AI trainer. Anyway, she came up. Let me get rid of my background here. She did this post just yesterday, and see if I can make that full screen a little bit bigger. So here's her post from yesterday, and I recommend that you go follow her and read this post. But the idea is that there's one thing that everyone's getting wrong. Everyone thinks they're behind. Everyone thinks everyone else is all over AI. And she's taught a lot of different people, a lot of different things, smart people. And she said they fit into 5 categories. So you have the overwhelmed, you have the dabbler, you have the aspiring integrator, and the actual integrator, and a captain know-it-all. You, in looking at these 5 categories, know exactly where you fit right now. I know where I fit as well. And I hope to God you're not thinking that it's the captain know-it-all, because I don't think anybody knows everything about AI. And that's what I'm going to get to in this. So here's the thing is, if you're falling into one of these first 2 categories, you start to feel really bad about yourself and bad about what's going on. And she said the vast majority, 85 to 90%. Now, this is obviously, she didn't do a technical study, but she's basing it on the people that she's dealt with. She's like, they're overwhelmed dabblers or aspiring integrators. So if you fall into that category, I want you to take some solace in it and be like, oh, okay, I'm like 85 to 90% of all the other smart people in various industries. And this was, this was interesting too, is that what she sees on LinkedIn is massively skewed. It's what I see, massively skewed. And yeah, Erica, exactly. You're definitely an aspiring integrator with inner fears. Yeah, and that's totally normal. So you notice here, out of I refreshed this, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes ago. She had 291 votes at that time, and you notice what her percentages are. 10%, only 10% are overwhelmed. But that's also because here she is as an AI trainer. So the people that are in her audience on LinkedIn tend to be more knowledgeable or more interested in AI. But I bet if she went out to the general public, that would skew even more towards the overwhelmed. I mean, there's just simply a lot of people that also don't know uh, AI at all. There's a lot of people that I've talked to that have never used ChatGPT, don't even know what ChatGPT is. And so I want you to really understand where you come from with all this. Is the first thing that you've got to, of the 3 things that I'm going to be talking about today, that'll get you from feeling really pretty stupid at times about AI to actually being confident in leading AI conversations. I truly believe you can do that. And it's not a huge jump from where you are. The first thing is mindset. When you're out there looking at AI things and you're just diving in and trying to grasp what's really happening, you're being hit by a niche market. You're being hit by somebody who's really good at mid-journey, right? So mid-journey being image manipulation. These guys are incredible. And yeah, you can get overwhelmed just going down that one path. Or you got the person who's the prompt master, right? They do all kinds of prompts for all kinds of things. And again, it's a narrow scope. What I want you to think about, when you get caught in the whole mindset thing and you start feeling really negative and down about what you don't know, I want you to think about what you do know. If you were out there talking about your business, about what you do, what you're good at, what you studied, what you're looking at, and you made it a narrow scope, how many of those people that you're watching would be able to go, oh yeah, I get that. Oh yeah, I totally know that. Not many. So you have to understand that your narrow scope is just like their narrow scope. And there's no way that I'm going to come into your business and know everything that you know about it and go, oh, no, you're doing it wrong. Or, yeah, I got that. I got that. It's not like that. And AI is no different. So the mindset you have to have about AI is that, first of all, it's not new. These people that have been showing Midjourney and all of the co-pilots and the chatbots and the models and the this and the that, some of the companies are new. The technology is actually not all that new. It's just been made more accessible through something like a ChatGPT. And when we all dove at it, we all dove at it together, and we're all looking at each other, we're all talking to each other. And so there's this mindset that we're all in the same boat, but there are thousands, if not millions of people behind you that don't know what you know. You have to change your mindset about AI. So first of all, you're well, not second of all, you're not falling behind. I know the gurus tell you that you are. And in some cases, you might be. But for the majority of you watching this, you're fine. You're better than fine, because if you're here watching this, you care. It's like you know about stuff. You don't want to feel stupid. And I think you just need to understand that you're not stupid. You're not falling behind. And what I'm going to tell you in the next two parts of this are how to get over that and move beyond it and actually make tangible jumps in your progress and what you provide. Because really, that's what it comes down to, is we're all out there trying to figure out how AI works for us. And the problem is there's so many goodies and so much good stuff that we tend to go at it and reach for it and go, yeah, I love that. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. But how many things are actually practical? And if you know me, that's my thing, practical AI. Because there's so much eye candy and there's so much good stuff out there. But it has to be that you focus, because you're a business person and I want you to succeed. You have to spend your time wisely. So you need to focus on the things that attach directly to your business. AI has many, many things that are extremely cool. Pardon me. That have nothing to do with your business. Midjourney is one of them. I've seen some amazing videos. You've probably seen them too. People will actually take an image that's created out of something like Midjourney and run it through another program called Runway that actually animates it. So it takes it and gives it motion. So you can make 5-second movie, whatever you want to call them, not stills, but movie reels, 5 seconds or whatever, of those things that you see when you watch a clip from a movie, on an ad or on a movie. You'll see those things where like somebody's face and they're turning and the hair blowing in the wind, and all those things can all be done through AI now. Add to it something like voice that's coming. That, I think, is going to be this year. This year, you're going to start seeing a lot of things with voice. And it starts to become even cooler. So you go, wow, that is really cool. I want to go look at that. Hold up. How does it apply to your business today? You have to keep coming back to that. And the trick is, the more that you look at AI, the more you're going to understand. But there's depth at each one of those places as well that you're not going to understand. You will continue to feel like you're falling behind and stupid. So the next thing that I want you to consider is to pick an area that you're already in. And what I mean by that is not an AI area that you're already in. I want you to think about your business. So if you are, yeah, see, I shouldn't have mentioned it, Erica, because now you stay here with me, okay? Just stay to the end of this, and then you can go off and check out Runway. She said, Runway, oh no, there goes my afternoon. And that's it exactly. Because there are some really cool things, and that might apply to her business, and it might apply to your business. But what you have to do is think about where you already are and what can apply there. So for example, if you're a coach and you want to be able to communicate through this kind of mechanism, right? It's a face, it's a voice, it's looking at the person looking at you. It's relationship oriented. There's some great tools out there to take a still of you, make your lips move, put over here some, some transcript or something, and then have AI speak it. I'm in the process of coming up with an idea that allows you to on the fly do that so that the transcript isn't pre-built, it's generated by ChatGPT. And so the AI avatar has a direct communication back and forth with you that is a conversation. Now that's not terribly difficult and is definitely getting mainstreamed, I believe, this year. But here's the thing is if that doesn't apply to your business, you shouldn't be spending your time there. You really shouldn't. So pick an area that you're already in, which might be communication. Maybe you are creating videos for people. Maybe you're an ad agency and you want to extend your marketing into this sort of movie-based feel, right? Then yeah, go look at all of the things that manage that area in AI. But stay away from other things. There's a guy that I've worked with who's just doing a great job helping other companies generate social media posts. And he's building software around that has AI tucked in it. It's perfect. He doesn't need Midjourney. He doesn't need any of the voice activation stuff. He doesn't need this AI and that AI. He's literally just creating the posts that he needs for his clients based on some algorithm that he's got and data that they put into a spreadsheet. It's literally a Google sheet. So when you're looking at AI, again, start with your mindset. Realize you're not falling behind. You're right where you need to be. But now narrow your scope of what you're looking at. Pick an area that you're already in and dive into that. Because I think that's where you're going to find the most benefit. You're going to find that you actually can so the reason why I do that is not just because it has to apply to your business, but because it'll be easier for you, right? If you're already in a certain groove and you're like, how does AI play in that groove? You already got the groove down. You can do it in your sleep. So now you're just looking at AI and going, oh, that's cool. That'll save me hours. Oh, that's cool. That'll make this effortless. Oh, that's cool. There's an opportunity for something I hadn't thought of that stays in my groove, but really makes me better than my competition. It'll be easy. The ideas will flow. When you start going beyond that, that's why you feel stupid, is because you're in somebody else's lane. So pick around where you are. You can always expand from there. Tied to that is the third piece. And this is where I believe that you become the expert. So think about it this way. You're at a party and it's a networking thing. You've got people around you that are your peers or your competition. And someone brings up ChatGPT or AI and you're like, oh crap. Now I gotta at least look intelligent. Mindset. As soon as you change your mindset and you realize they're no smarter than you are, they don't have it more than you do. They might know one avenue really well. I might know another avenue really well. Your mindset shifts immediately. That's the first step. Now you're talking with peers. The second thing is picking a lane that you're already in. Get in your groove and find AI there. If you've been doing that, you now have things that are easy for you, easy to do, easy to implement, so faster to implement. You're probably going to this party with something already implemented. You also know the line. And so you can say, hey, there's also AI that I'm looking at that does, like I just said about the whole, I can create a transcript on the fly using ChatGPT and make my mouth move. And all of a sudden we have this avatar that looks like Greg's talking in a conversation to you. That's because that's my groove. That's my thing. So when you know your groove, you can have a conversation with anybody at any party. Now, knowing what to use when, that goes beyond. This is when you become the leader in that conversation. You let somebody bring up the conversation, and yes, if they ask you about your groove and what you're doing with AI and your business, it's very easy. But now knowing what to use when. So you can, if someone brings up Midjourney, and you know what Midjourney is in a general sense, but you don't have it in your groove, you can have that conversation with somebody and say, oh yeah, I was looking at Midjourney. That's pretty cool stuff. I don't need that for what I'm doing. That's leadership. So tell me what are you using it for? That sounds pretty cool. And now you're pointing them into either an uncomfortable, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but you could be either pointing them into an uncomfortable spot where they're not really prepared to answer the question, or they're using it and they are comfortable answering that question. That's leadership on your side. When you're having a conversation at a party and you're saying to somebody, I don't use that. Sounds like you do. I know what it is. Tell me about it. How are you using it? That's conversation. That's networking. They're going to look at you and go, they know their stuff. They know what they have. They know what they don't have. They know where their strengths are. They know what their weak points are. But they look at it and say, that's not really a weak spot. I don't need that. And they're interested in me. Right? And that's how that goes. And that's where leadership comes in. So now what happens is you get somebody who's in that lane, who knows Midjourney, who's using Midjourney, sharing with you practical uses of Midjourney. And your brain's going to go, that's really cool. It may give you a direct idea for something that you want to work on. It may give you an opportunity to pair up with somebody and say, hey, you know what? I want to do a talk on my groove. I'd love to have you talk about Midjourney. Let's do something together. Whatever. It could be a JV opportunity. It could be co-hosting something. What happens is you go from feeling overwhelmed about AI to actually being a leader in the field. And it sounds funny that that would be leadership, but that is because there's too much for AI right now. There's too much going on. There's too many pieces for you to know everything. So that's what I'm doing this year is trying to help people just like you go from what I call a bobo, which is a burned out business owner. And it's because you burned yourself out, totally normal, totally fine. I want to take you from that, transform it over to an AI enabled entrepreneur or solopreneur. That transition, that transformation for you starts with mindset of your own and then goes into focusing in a certain area of AI, executing a plan, and being able to communicate about that with others. Once you're AI enabled, then it's like as new stuff comes into your feed and you start going, oh, what's this new thing with voice activation? You have a place to put it. You can look at it, understand it, put it into play. And that's being AI enabled. You'll be able to quickly look at something and go, yeah, that doesn't really apply to me. That might be a cool reading on a Saturday night, but I don't really need that right now. I want you to focus your time on the things that matter in your business. What I call the core four, right? There's lead gen, there's nurturing once you have them in your environment. There's sales, obviously, you want to get them to that point. And then obviously you have fulfillment. You have to actually follow through with what you've promised them. Those things are where you need to spend your time. You need to be actually producing. The amount of studying that we're doing these days on AI is kind of silly. Talking to people that I know, they're all trying to get ahead. And I'm like, what are you studying? And they got all this stuff that they're studying to get ahead. I'm like, what are you getting ahead on? How does that apply to what you're doing in your job? Some of these people are 9-to-5ers that are like, I need to know this so I can get ahead. I'm like, get ahead of what? Get ahead of whom? What are you talking about? So be careful that you don't catch yourself in that situation as well. So just to summarize where we've been, if you're just catching in, I don't want you to feel stupid about AI because we all are. There's a lot of things about AI that I don't know, and I'm okay with that. I know what I need to know, and I know kind of what's out there. And when I feel the need to go further, then I will. I'll dive down a path. So the first thing is getting your mind right. Know that you're really in a better place than you think you are. You don't need to feel stupid about AI because all these people that are telling you you're falling behind, you're not. They're coming out first and they're saying, hey, first, hey, yeah, oh, I know all this stuff. I know all this stuff. They want you to glom onto them because they know all this stuff. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they can apply it to your business. And it doesn't mean that you're stupid or that you're falling behind. They just want to make you feel that way so that you glom onto them. Now, there are some people, like I said, I have a lot of respect for. They're not doing it in an underhanded way. They literally believe people are falling behind if they're not keeping up. That's totally cool. I disagree. But anyway, don't let yourself get caught in that trap. The second thing is to pick an area that you already know, or you're already in your business without AI. You already know certain things. Stay there and see where AI can apply. You want to bring AI in rather than you going out and getting lost. The third thing is to know what to use when. When is it okay to study something like voice activation, voice recognition, creating avatars, chatbots? I'm doing a lot this year with chatbots and agents and co-pilots and getting people's data underneath these things and allowing it to bubble up through AI and have conversations with users or stakeholders or whatever the application demands. You have to know what part of AI to use and when. Once you have that, you can have a conversation with anybody in any field, and you will be a leader in that conversation. It's okay to say, I don't know, I don't use Midjourney. Tell me more about it. And so that's what I really want you to focus on, those three things. And I think that'll make you really get out of feeling stupid, to be honest. So that's what I have for you today. If there's any questions, please, I know that in some cases I won't be seeing all the comments that come in. I'm right now live on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, and certain comments don't show here. But if you have any questions, please drop them in. I'll stay here for a moment or two longer and answer it if I can. One other thing I just want to leave you with before I head out is the first step in the journey with me is to get a blueprint made. And what I do is have you fill out a Google form that gives me the general information about where you are, what your business is like, and how comfortable you are with certain parts of AI. I read that, try to understand your business, and then we have a one-on-one conversation, and I fill in the gaps. I figure out where you're coming from and where you're going, and then I build out a 3, 6, and 12-month plan for you and add in, if I can, a 1-month quick win. All of it around AI and bringing AI into your business, into your specific situation. I don't give a very generalized approach. I really try to listen to what you're trying to accomplish and show you how you can, go to that step 2, which is basically what's in your lane. I can show you and we can work from there, and then we can go to step 3 and expand from there. But if you're interested in doing that with me, it's not expensive. Give me a shout, send me a DM, put a comment in here, whatever you need to do. Email me, greg@gimme.info, GIMMEE.info. And hey, look at that. Thank you, Erica, so much. She's one of my first blueprints. And really, it's been an honor to work with Erica and a few others that I've had the honor to work with on generating their blueprints. It really does help, and it points you in the right direction, gives you a plan for a full year. Anyway, I hope this has been beneficial, and I look forward to doing these weekly and sharing more about AI and how to make it practical for your business. And I hope you'll join in. Thanks for all your input, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Take care.